Hello students, in today's presentation we will discuss about VHDL programs from chapter 4 VHDL programming subject VLSI 22062. Now the very first program we are going to discuss here is as shown in the figure. You can see here. So it is having two NOT gate, two AND gate and OR gate. As we have already studied about the different types of architectures in VHDL programming. So one form is structural architecture. So we are going to write the VHDL code in structural form for this circuit. The very first thing you are going to do in every VHDL programming is to declare the library. So first you have to declare the library, then you have to declare the entity, and then you have to declare and write about the architecture. So library we will be using here is IEEE library, and that you have to declare first. So in this program I have only declared here about the entity and the architecture. So we can check out here. So as shown in the circuit, you can understand the inputs are only AB and the output is Y. So that we are going to declare into the entity as ports. So the input ports and the output port is to be declared in entity. Also we have to give the name to the entity. So that declaration is also done here. So you can see here entity, and XOR2 is the name of the whole circuit, and the ports A and B is the input port, and it is declared here as in, and since it is only single bit, so we have to declare the type as bit, and then the Y is output, so you are going to declare it as out, and since it is also a single bit, it is declared as bit here, and then the end entity bracket semicolon. Then we are going to write about the architecture. So you have to use a reserved word called architecture. You have to give the name to the entity architecture. So here I have given the name as XOR underscore structure of XOR2 is is the reserved word, and here XOR2 is the entity name. So you have to understand here the structure. This architecture is for the entity XOR2. That actually is the meaning. Then in structural architecture, the very first thing you are going to declare is the component. So different gates. Now as you can see in the circuit, there are two NOT gates, two AND gates and a single OR gate. So you have to declare that once in the component declaration. So after is, you don't have to use the word begin, you have to declare the components. So here the component, the AND gate is there, OR gate is there, and NOT gate is there. All three components we are going to declare here. So we are going to use the word reserved word called as component, give the name to the gate. So this is AND2, so AND gate is named here as AND2. Then we are going to declare the input and the output ports here. So port XY is the input in bit and Z is the output, semicolon, and end component, semicolon. So this is how we are going to declare one component. The second component is OR2. So we are going to write component OR2. Then the port, that is the input and output ports we are going to declare here, since it is two input gate. So we are going to give the two input name. So here it is given as PQ, semicolon, in bit, and R is the output bit. Same way we are going to declare the next component, that is NOT, and its inputs port. So I is the input and J is the output, and then end component. So this component declaration is done after the architecture name and before the begin word. Now here you can see in the circuit diagram, you can see, so A, B is the input and Y is the output, but you can see the intermediate signals which are generated inside by the gates, that is AB, BB, X1, X2. All these are intermediate signals generated by the gates, and this has to be declared inside the signal. So signal we are going to declare here AB, BB, X1, X2. It is a single bit, so we have declared it as a bit, and then we are going to start with the begin. So after this begin, you are going to write the VHDL code for the structure, but here now you have to use the component instantiation as we have already studied in structural form. So first is to declare the components, and then you have to use the component instantiation statements. So here you can see I1 is the name given to the NOT gate. So I1 colon NOT 2 is the given component declared, we have already done before. So NOT 2 and the port map. So the input and the output port map is given inside the brackets. So A comma AB. As you can see I1, so on NOT gate you can see A is the input and AB is the output. So that in the sequence you have to declare here. Then I2 NOT 2. So how many components are there? All that components has to be instantiated inside this after this begin word. So I2 is also declared, as you can see. Then A1 is the AND gate. So here you can see AND 2 port map AB comma B comma X1. So all this state A1 is the AND gate, and you can see AB is the input, and then B is also the input, and X1 is the output. So that is declared. So likewise you have to declare A2 and the OR gate also. So you can see OR gate is having the inputs X1 X2 and Y as output. So you can see Q1 colon or port map X1 X2 Y. So all inputs, this sequence is very important, inputs and then output you have to declare, and that is the end of the structure. So this is how we are going to write the VHDL code in structural form. Now the next program which we are going to do is of SR flip-flop. So you can see here there are two NAND gates with the inputs set reset, as well as there are two more inputs to the NAND gate, that is Q and QB. But you can see also here that QB and Q both are output as well. So in the entity declaration, as I have named it as RSFF, this is the name for the RS flip-flop, and then we have declared the ports here. So while declaring the ports, you can see set reset is the input bit, but Q and QB I have declared it as in out bit, because sometimes that we are using as output and that also we are using as input. And then end RS flip-flop. Then the architecture RS flip-flop of RS flip-flop is, then as we are writing in the structural form, so first is component declaration, and you can see only one NAND gate, only NAND gates are used here. So even if you are using 10 NAND gates, you have to declare it once only. So NAND gate declaration is done. So component NAND gate 2 and the port declaration, port AB is the input, and here port declaration is very important to specify whether the NAND gate is of 2 input gate or 3 input. So you can see here, since it is 2 input, it is given the two names AB input in bit and Y is output bit and component. Then we are going to start with the begin word, and we are going to write the component instantiation statements. And you can see NAND gate 1, we have given the name N1 and N2. So N1 colon NAND gate port map, and we are going as shown in the figure, the input and the output you have to state inside the port map, and the sequence is important, first inputs and then output. So set QB and Q. So here set QB is input to N1 and Q is the output. So also for N2 reset and Q is input and QB is output. So that is stated in the statements, and then end RS flip-flops. Okay, now we will understand how to write the program and data flow model. So you can see here the gate which we are going to write is AND gate. So you can see it is 2 input AND gate AB and Q is the output. So in data flow model you have to just declare the equations, Boolean equations. We have already studied about that, Boolean equations. So here you can see the very first thing is library declaration, then you have to do entity declaration. So entity is AND2, then reserve word is, then port AB input in bit and Q is out bit, and AND2. Then we'll start with the architecture. Data flow AND2 of AND2 is, so architecture name is data flow underscore AND2 of entity AND2 is begin, and then we have to directly use the Boolean equation. So here Y is not the output, Q is the output, so by mistake it is written here, so instead of Y that should be Q is assigned. Now U less than or equal to is also assignment operator. So Y is assigned A and B after 10 nanoseconds. Here after is a word, reserved word, which is a clause which is used for timing. So that means y will be assigned a value of a and b after 10 nanoseconds, and data flow underscore and 2. So this is how we are going to write the VHDL code in data flow model. Now we will write the data VHDL program for 2:1 marks. But here we will be using conditional assignment statement, which we have already discussed in chapter 3. So here you can see the very first is library declaration and then the entity. So here, since it is multiplexer 2:1 marks, so I have given the name as mux2. So entity mux2 is then the input ports. So you can see A, B and S are inputs and Y is the output. So we are used here standard logic. So type is standard logic. So in is standard logic and out standard logic, and mux2. So architecture, data flow, since it is in the data flow model, so we are going to start with the begin word, and then you can write output y is assigned a if s is equal to, when s is equal to 0, else b, and data flow model data flow underscore mux2. This is how we are going to use conditional assignment statements. Now for the same multiplexer in data flow model, we are going to use signal selected signal assignment statement. So you can see how we are going to use with select, which we have already studied. So first is library declaration, then is entity declaration. So in entity, A, B, S is the input standard logic and Y is the output standard logic. Architecture name of mux2 is then the begin word, and here we are going to use with select. So you can see here with, and then S is the select S, and then the select is the reserved word. So you can see here in the red word, select is the reserved word, and S is, we are going to, depending on S, the output will be generated. So you can see Y is assigned value A when 0, or Y will be assigned value B when others. So if you are using a single bit, then you have to use the single bit in a single code. So you can see when 0 I am written, I have used a single code, single bit is there. So if you are using 2 or more bits, then you have to use double quotes. Then this is the then end of the architecture. So this is how we are going to write the program for signal assignment using signal assignment statements. So this was few references which I have used, and a few more programs we'll discuss in the another video. Thank you.